There are now more than 3 million Ukrainian refugees. More than half of them are children. 1.5 million children have fled the country to seek safety. UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, broke down these numbers by day, minute, even seconds. And if you look at the scale, every single day, an average of 75,000 children become refugees. Every single minute, 55 children have fled their home countries. That's one refugee per second. We are joined, of course, by the UNICEF USA spokesperson, Joe English, who is actually live from Lviv. Is that right?
It is indeed. Hi, Adrienne. Good to be with you today.
Good to be with you, and good to see children playing on swings and at that park there behind you. Certainly a peaceful picture compared to some of the stark images that we've seen and we've broadcast here in America of bombing and missile strikes in and around the region that you're in. How dangerous is it where you are?
Indeed. So, I mean, as you can see behind me, kids are playing. It could be any playground anywhere in the world. But what you can't see just out of sight behind is there's a bomb shelter. There's sandbags. The building just over to the right of me has sandbags, soldiers patrolling. Now, Lviv has been in one of the safer parts of the country. You know, we've seen a lot of families come through from Kharkiv, from other areas, from Kyiv, where the fighting has been more intense. But on Saturday night, we saw strikes close to the city here as well. And so many families are making desperate choices. You know, do they try and stay here in Lviv, where they may be able to stay with their husbands, their fathers, or do they take that step to cross the border into Poland, the relative safety of Poland, you know, and claim refugee status there?
What is the greatest need for children who are fleeing with their families?
Certainly. I mean, when I was in Poland last week, you know, families were coming across with children, and obviously it's predominantly women and young children. You know, they arrive cold, they arrive tired, they arrive hungry. Many have been walking or on buses or trains for hours, if not days. And so there's a great volunteer response there. You know, they're being given warm food, they're being given warm clothes. But the huge numbers of people coming across the border brings with it very real child protection risks. And this is one of the things that UNICEF is focusing on. We're working with UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, and local authorities to set up blue dot centres in the surrounding countries, which provide a safe space for children to play, as you see children behind me playing, but also provides us the opportunity to get child protection specialists and counsellors in to identify vulnerable children, children who may have gone through trauma, but also unaccompanied and separated children, to make sure that they're getting the services and the protection that they need.
And that is so comforting, because my first thought would be, you know, not only that they need a sense of normalcy, like a warm bed and a hot meal, but also the mental health aspect, which is so much a part of this, as you mentioned, the trauma. How many children do you think UNICEF has helped so far?
I mean, you know, we are aiming to reach every single child in need. We know that there are 7.5 million children. There were 7.5 million children inside Ukraine before the crisis. 1.5 million of those have now crossed as refugees. We're working in every country that's hosting refugees to try and provide these services. And we're trying to get as many children inside Ukraine as possible. But obviously parts of the country, your earlier report about the situation in Mariupol, you know, where there is no humanitarian access. We desperately need humanitarian corridors, but ultimately we need an end to the fighting so that we can reach children in need, so that vulnerable children and families can escape to safety, and so that these families, these children, can begin to build a brighter future for themselves.
How can some of our viewers actually help? Because obviously there are certain organizations that are doing work and have a legacy of helping and making sure those funds go to the right place. Others, you know, you have to do your research. But what's the best way to help the kids in Ukraine and those fleeing?
Yeah, you know, UNICEFusa.org. You know, if you go on there, there's a big donate button. I've seen the supplies that we're sending out. You know, we're getting safe drinking water to people. We're getting midwife kits, critical medical supplies. But we're also providing stuff like toys, you know, beyond the basics, ensuring that kids have a chance of a semblance, as you say, of normality. We've delivered toys to children who are sheltering in the metro system in Kharkiv. And providing these kind of things, you know, that provides children with a level of hope. And that's priceless. That really is priceless.
Hope is something we all need right now. Thank you so much for joining us, Joe English. And again, the sound of those children giggling and playing behind you, a stark contrast to something happening in a place like Mariupol and Kyiv. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Adrienne.
And you can go to the website for UNICEF for more information. Still ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.